It's time to load up your saved game files. Hit that search bar because we have another player spotlight. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Omega Loot Gaming channel. Again, we have another player spotlight on the channel. So I hope you've been enjoying the ones that we have recently. The last one, of course, what a banger John Ramirez really was. Have you ever heard of him? I never did. So, fair play. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it. Because you can pick up a guy for 4.5k. And for lower reputation leagues, he is unbelievable. Top scorer. Absolutely incredible signing from the Dominican Republic of all places. Now, today's player spotlight is a little bit more well known. From a country and a club that you know and some may love. Shall we have a look at him? Let's just go for it. Here he is. It is Vincenzo Malico. One of the best names in football if you ask me. Now this man is just 18 years old. But he already has the potential, I think, to be a first team player in a lot of top league clubs. Now, let's see how much he starts on. He starts on a current ability of 109, but he does have the potential range to go up to 170. So this guy could really potentially be one of the best wingers in the game. You can also play up front as well as a natural position. Very versatile player, but I think he is best suited for this role, which we have highlighted here as like an inside forward. So that's the role that I'm going to be playing him. Now, he is 18. His current valuation is 1.6 million from Torino, who of course are in the top division and sort of a top half club of Serie A. Not one of the best teams, but still, they're not ones, they're not mugs. They're not going to accept no less. You know, we've been finding some bargains. I know that. But I'm pretty sure if you offer them 7.5 million, they accept it outright. Don't believe me, I have tried going lower and I always average around 7.5 million. I try this quite often. So, 7.5 million for this player doesn't seem too good for what he is now, but it's all about what he is in a few years' time. Let's have a look at the club that we've chose for him. I have chosen Red Bull Leipzig, and I've already simulated one season because we are going 7 years into the future today. So I want to get this season off and running. Now, already he's progressed quite nicely, so that's good. He started 33 games, and he only scored 3 goals and got 3 assists. Again, this is sort of, I'm transitioning into the way I do these player spotlights now, which I think you guys have been agreeing with is the best way of doing so. I've already recorded this one, however, in future, I'm going to be trying to loan players for a long period of time to the clubs I want to try them at, so that I can change the preferred moves, because unfortunately when you have them as a future transfer and you try and train them, you cannot discuss any new traits, which is frustrating because if we had like cuts inside from the left wing on this guy, it would make him slightly better and using his pace. Like, preferred moves is so good on this game and not a lot of people use them, including myself. In my own save game files that I have on YouTube, I have been one of these people who have not done and neglected the preferred moves and probably I've missed out on quite a lot of success from doing so. Now, 109 current ability. After one season we're at 130. We're on the rise already. But of course, we've picked Leipzig. And in the first season, Leipzig only finished in 4th place in the Bundesliga. So not a very successful season. Although they are predicted to finish 7th. They do have some really big players in their team. The likes of Dani Olmo and Timo Werner. I'm going to be controlling the transfers through this one as well. So I've stopped it every pre-season just to put some transfers in. Just to try and see if I can build a team around Malico and see if we can really get the best out of him. Let's go forward another year. Oh, we also were the runner-up in the DFB Pokal, which is very disappointing that Cologne beat us in the Cup and in the league to 3rd place, so that's frustrating. Knocked out by Barca in the Champions League. Always happens. Now here we are at the end of the 3rd season and we are champions. But do you know what is weird about this season? Is if I go to history of Leipzig, where can I find the history of Leipzig? If I go to club info, history, managers, they sacked me. Sacked me when I was in 1st place. Genuinely serious. So I'm quite surprised with that. And I think it's due to the fact that competitions-wise, we were knocked out of the Champions League in the quarterfinals of the Europa and knocked out of the semi-final by the DFB Pokal. So they were having none of it. But, I mean, look how much we were dominating the league. And we were sacked. So I've managed to just make myself manager again. I've just made myself manager again. I thought I'm not going to like bin off two years here because we are in season number 3 now. How did they get on the season before that? They came, if we see here and go back a year, we can see that they finished in 2nd place to Borussia Dortmund. So Bayern Munich knocked off their perch here, and Leipzig and Dortmund are now battling out for the top 2 spots. But we prevailed this season. We have the likes of Fedor Shalov, but we can see Maliko there with 9 assists throughout the season, and he is looking really good already. If we see there, 155 current abilities, already rising to an extremely good player after 3 seasons at the age of 21. History-wise, the season before, he scored 12 goals and had 5 assists. 3 man of the matches, a good average rating. This season, 7 goals, 9 assists, 1 player of the match. An average rating though. For a team who won the league to only get an average rating of 7.08, that's disappointing to me. He scored 14 goals in total and got 12 assists in total. So he's doubled his tally for goals there and got 3 more assists. I don't know whether that's a good season or not. Like, for an inside forward for a team who won the league, I'd expect to see a little bit more than what we are seeing here. Progress-wise, if we take a look at the attributes, we can't even compare from the original, which is very frustrating because we were sacked. So the transfers I brought in around him were actually quite good. I brought in Camavinga for 24 million, Jamal Lewis for 26 million, and Fedor Shalov, and then I let the assistant do the rest. And they brought in players like Kelvin, who I actually really like. So that was good. In the season before that, we brought in a couple of youngsters who I like the look of, and Elmas, who is a very good centre midfielder. So that hopefully will bed into the future of this club as well. Right, we're at the end of season number 5 now. The 1st of June 2024. We did not win the league. We lost to Borussia Dortmund by 3 points. We did not get sacked though. Thank you. Now, Timo Werner got the most goals in the season. Ruben Neves, who I signed, got the highest average rating. We are nowhere to be seen. Maliko here. So if we go here, this is what he is looking like. Now, we did have 152, I think, 2 years ago, and we're only at 158. So the progress has sort of stopped. And that's got nothing to do with how he's been performing, because he has been playing every single game as much as physically possible. Again, 13 goals and 7 assists, a good successful season. That's the best he's had so far. 7.18 average rating, but then it drops off again. 9 goals, 5 assists, 3 player of the matches. A disappointing season, although only playing 28 games because of certain injuries. Still a very disappointing season. His progress, we can only really see it from all time. Can we really? It's not going to show it. That's how annoying that sacking really is, that you can't quite see how good he is. You're just going to sort of have to remember. Now, competition wise, the DFB Pokal, we won it the season before. So that's good, that's fantastic. We did not win it this season though, although Maliko was the top scorer of that competition. Now, Champions League, as you can see, knocked out the first round knockout stage by Chelsea. We did not win it the previous season, so maybe if we can see the season before, here we go. So, did we even qualify? It doesn't look like we did from the group stage. So, if we do have a look at the groups, all groups down here, we can see exactly where we were sat. We lost to Man United and Monaco. So that season we went into Europa League. I can't imagine we did much stuff in the Europa League either. If we do see Europa League here, we can have a look. The Euro Cup. So we lost actually to Bayern Munich in the quarter-final on aggregate, so that's disappointing. Transfer wise, we lost a few good players because I just leave the majority of them up to the director of football, and then I sign players at the start and hopefully he brings them in. So a lot of these are regens already, but the season before was a huge season. He even signed, and I genuinely did not sign this myself, he signed in Ibrahim from the original player spotlight, the African players that I put at Celtic on FM Scout. He signed Ibrahim. I didn't know. It was amazing, really, when that actually came up. For 16.75 million. My signing, though, was Ruben Neves because I needed that deep line playmaker to spread the balls over the top. What a fantastic signing that was. 169 average current ability with a £58 million. So that's fantastic, I think. So those are the signings I made that season. These signings. Jordan Henderson. That's right, Jordan Henderson. I brought Jordan Henderson in. Now the final year. This is after 7 seasons now. Leipzig finish in 3rd place with Schalke and Borussia Dortmund. This is why I love the Bundesliga. So many different teams always seem to win it. Now we have signed Anthony, who has been the top scorer. As you can see, most assists is this regen that we brought in a few years ago. He looks really solid. But Maliko, what have you been doing, my friend? 157 current ability. So it did not reach the 170, but I still think that's a very good amount. And I think you can agree that the player that we have on our hands here is a solid winger. Not one of the world's best, but still a solid winger. Now, goals-wise, he's had his best year. 16 goals in the league, so that's great. 6 assists. We have seen and we could see better really from an inside forward, but we do have 26 appearances. So within the 26 appearances, to have 22 goal contributions from a winger, I consider that as a success. The season before, 13 goals and 10 assists. Really good season there as well, with a high average rating. So he's putting it in the end of his career there. Well, I say at the end of his career, he's in his prime. Like, he's 25 now. This is his prime. So he's putting it in at the end of this experiment anyway. But I just, something tells me I'd like to see something more. And I don't know whether he has low attribute for consistency or low attribute for important matches. Whether that's the case, because it just seems like he's just not quite there. The ability is there, but he's not quite performing there. I mean, let me know if you disagree and whether you think those are actually really good numbers for a team who are up and around the top. I'd just like to see a little bit more from my inside forward. Anyway, the Bundesliga, did we win it the season before? We did. So that's great. How did we get on? We won it by a good amount as well. 11 points. We beat off Bayern Munich, who were there in 2nd place. Phenomenal season there. We didn't win the DFB Pokal. I cannot get my words out. My God. But we did lose in the semi-final to Manchester City in the Champions League, who went on to win it. Not bad in that then. So we haven't won the cup for a long time, it turns out. So that's disappointing. The Champions Cup, I wouldn't imagine we didn't do anything there. So overall, some successful seasons for sure. We won the cup a couple of times. We won the league 3 times, I believe, in the 7 seasons that we managed to do. To win it 3 times for Leipzig, and this player seems to be there and thereabouts. Maybe I'm being too harsh on him because he's also there in 3rd place there for the top scorer of the league. Coming from the wing, that may be a bit of an understatement then, me saying that he is underperforming. So, or not an understatement, maybe that's wrong of me to say, because in total 73 goals in 216 games for a winger is not actually too bad. I mean, he's currently valued at 54 million, so we would, if we didn't sign him on a transfer where you can't leave the club, if we signed him on a normal transfer and played 7 seasons and we wanted to cash in, we would make a huge, hefty profit, potentially selling him for around about 70 million if we had a good contract on him. And we'd make a huge profit from Vincenzo Maliko. So maybe I'm being harsh on the man, but he has some good attributes. Not the best for his potential. I must say 170 potential. I expect to see slightly better attributes, but then he's only at 157 current ability. Anyway, what do you think? Have you used this man before? Are you going to see whether you can use this man before? Let me know down in the comments. I always really enjoy when listening to your stories and how you're progressing with these players. Of course, we are now trying to get some like targets up in these player spotlights. We aim for 250. I'm recording this well before that even comes out, so I don't know whether you hit it. If you did, thank you very much. If you haven't done so, can you try and get it for this one? 250 likes. Is that impossible? I don't know. I don't think it is. You guys seem to be hitting 170 when I'm not even asking. So 250 should be an absolute breeze for you to do, and then I will make sure I keep on bringing you these player spotlights. All the suggestions, by the way, that you would give me, I am putting them down in my list to do in the future and looking through and then doing little experiments with them here and there before I decide on the player that I want to do. So please, if you do have more suggestions, keep them coming. Don't repeat the ones that you're already making, because I am writing them all down. I promise you that. You might not see them pop up like straight away, or you might not ever see them pop up if I can't get them to do a very good experiment, because let's face it, I'm not gonna do an episode if the experiment fails. It's just no point. But of course, we still have around about 50% of you who are not subscribed to the channel, and that is a disgrace. We are closing in on 5,000 subscribers now, and I need every single one of you to be helping me get there. So if you haven't done so already, please consider smashing that subscribe button, just as like you would do the like button. I really do appreciate it, and I shall see you maybe next week for another double. I don't know. If the numbers are there, I'll do 2 more. That's what I'm saying. Bye-bye. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's another one below that I have picked for you to have a look at. Also, if you'd like to sponsor me as a content creator by pledging to my Patreon page, you can do just that by following the link below and be like one of these wonderful people. Thank you.